Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. The state of Verdansk is a weird one, man, not gonna lie. We saw the end of Verdansk prior to the integration of Verdansk 84 with the whole nuke event that was caused by the Al-Qatala forces, but now we're about to see the end of Verdansk again, it would seem, within Verdansk 84, as some new leaks and rumors suggest that we have another major event here on the horizon. And as we know, Verdansk is going bye-bye when the Warzone Pacific map launches here shortly. So today we got a lot to cover when it comes to the end event. Again, the sequel, if you will. So as we cover everything here, if you enjoy the video at any point, let me know by dropping a like on it. It really does actually help the channel grow. And of course, if you're new around here or if you haven't already subscribed, this is the place to be for everything going on in COD, news, loadouts, updates, and really everything else in between. So feel free to subscribe with your notifications turned on. Also, I don't really plug my socials all that much in the videos, but in the description of every video, there's always links to my Twitter, my Instagram, and then also my Discord server. So if you want to check out any of those and follow me there as well, by all means, feel free to do so. Anyway, the end of Verdansk again. As we've talked about previously, a while back, there were some things found within the game files that various data miners in the community ended up discovering that pointed towards some new kind of event taking place in the future that ties into the new Warzone Pacific map. Something along the lines of To the Pacific, to be exact. And the small amount of information on that led us to believe that we'd be able to gain access to something underground in Verdansk 84 that would ultimately lead us to getting a new Pacific map reveal, as we had challenges come out involving a trip beneath the surface of Verdansk itself. Now, that could be pointing to the various bunkers that we've had on the map since Verdansk 84 was added into the game. Obviously, we have some of the original ones from, 2019 and 2020 Verdansk that tied into like the various Easter eggs. We also have some new ones as well, like for instance, the one that is underneath the whole airplane factory hangars. And of course, we've never been able to access any of those. At the same time, though, this could also be pointing towards the old mines area that has also been there since day one of Verdansk 84 that we've yet to gain access to either. But really, either way, this event has had some leaks and rumors out for a bit now that we've detailed here before. But just recently, when we got the whole Haunting of Verdansk update, or the Haunting Update 2.0, which was small, it was only like 4 or 5 gigs between all platforms, I think. This update actually brought some new files to the game that came out from various members of the data mining community. This was actually reported on by Charlie Intel, which is usually like my rule of thumb for credibility. And so initially here, it would seem the icon for a new mode known as the Visions of Verdansk was added in, which is like a flashback of all previous major things that happened on Verdansk, apparently, almost like a look back in time, it would seem. Now, there were also some other things that were tied to that game mode icon specifically, including the fact that it should be considered a live event, similar to what we saw with the End of Verdansk and the Destruction of Verdansk, alongside the Cold War reveal and obviously the Vanguard reveal as well. And apparently within the Visions of Verdansk mode, there's a handful of different things that could happen. Now, keyword here is could. Keep in mind, nothing is official here until Call of Duty or Activision or Raven say something publicly and actually, hype up this supposed event. But we could be revisiting events like those ones that I just stated. We sort of see them through like a different perspective. We could see enhanced rewards in games, so maybe like bonus XP for doing things or certain blueprint unlocks or something like that. There's apparently some key cards that can be unlocked and found, and part of me wonders if we'd be able to use those to access those old bunkers or maybe some other secret on the map that we've yet to discover. And then there's also supposedly an enhanced buy station there as well. I'm not too sure what could be available for purchase there, though, that we don't already have. That's something we're going to have to wait and see for. But essentially, this seems like it would be an event to highlight previous events. An event based on other events, showing off things like the nuke event, maybe from, like I said, a different perspective and in more of like a third party way, rather than having us live through it like we obviously did during the whole destruction of Verdansk event. Now, what I do find kind of interesting about this is that this specifically doesn't seem to directly tie into those previous leaks and rumors that we got of the To the Pacific event with the Warzone Pacific reveal. So I'm partially thinking this could be maybe similar to the Verdansk and Destruction of Verdansk event, the End Event basically, and this could be a 2-part event, potentially where day one we go and relive the previous events of Verdansk like this Vision event seems to say we'll do. Then the next day we go in and we can find the secrets of Verdansk 84 and get to the point where we have that Pacific map reveal. Obviously, just me speculating, so take it with a grain of salt. And of course, somewhere in there as well, we should see something that leads to the actual end of Verdansk 84, whether that is a new destruction event or something else, because as I said, we know officially now that Verdansk is going away when the Pacific launches. We're not going to be able to have Verdansk, and the Pacific map and just choose whichever one we want to drop in on, right? Raven and creative director Amos Hodge have said that this is going to be our last season on this Verdansk map, and Call of Duty right now is even hosting like a Warzone tournament called the Final Dance in Verdansk or the Last Dance in Verdansk, something like that. So it's clear at this point that the ultimate demise of Verdansk 84 is coming soon. Also, for what it's worth, we know obviously Verdansk goes back to the state it was in Warzone of 2019 when the game first launched, obviously, at least from a lore perspective. And in Modern Warfare and Warzone, through the various seasonal cutscenes, I believe it was Nikolai that said it, after the Cold War, Verdansk was rebuilt. So some larger scale of destruction has to happen here, because I feel like if we just left the map as it is right now in the exact state with the fissures and everything else going on, it's pretty much just downtown that's destroyed because the bombs that Fuse and Stitch couldn't stop in time. So I feel like Nikolai would have said after the Cold War, downtown was rebuilt, because that's hardly considered the whole of Verdansk, right? Just my 2 cents there. So I feel like something larger has to happen if Verdansk 84 is 100% real. Like, obviously there's a lot of different outcomes and possibilities when it comes to what state we're actually living in right now, because it's very possible that yes, we are actually in 1984. However, that'd be kind of weird to have Modern Warfare 2019 weapons in 1984. So there's some realistic and realism exemptions there, or potentially because this is called Operation Flashback. I know my friend Courier Inkslasher has talked about this on his channel. We could potentially just be living inside of like Adler's mind in Verdansk 84, and it's not actually a real thing. But at some point, obviously Verdansk was officially destroyed because it was in fact rebuilt after the Cold War. So something larger, I feel like, should be happening there. Now, something else real quick I just thought of when it comes to like the whole like realistic and staying true to the game sort of thing and topic there. Obviously, with the whole World War II Vanguard Pacific map thing going on, I've seen a lot of people talking about, well, how are 1940s weapons going to outgun, Cold War weapons and 2019 weapons and modern guns, right? Or how are we even going to have Modern Warfare weapons and Cold War weapons in the 1940s? As of right now, there's actually nothing out there that says that this new Warzone Pacific map is going to take place in a World War II era. It's very possible that we just could have an overarching World War II theme, and in fact, we're still in like modern day or potentially even like 1984, 1985, but we're actually just on a new Pacific island, and that's like the core theme of the map, and the time period is not actually true to World War II. So just something to think about there, obviously not confirmed. If we get any new information on that, of course, I'll be sure to cover it here, because it's something that I'm also very interested in, strictly from that storyline and lore standpoint, because I love that stuff. But yeah, as of right now, no official word on that, so definitely something to think about. But yeah, with all that being said, that is effectively everything we know now about this new End of Verdansk event, the Visions of Verdansk. That's going to wrap things up for today. If you enjoyed the video, let me know by dropping a like on it. It would be seriously appreciated. And of course, if you're new here or if you have not already subscribed, feel free to do so. That way you can always stay up to date with everything going on in COD, news, updates, intel, loadouts. It's all right here every single day. As always, if you want to check out any of my partners, be sure to use code WHosImmortal for a discount on all Scuff, G Fuel, Gamer Advantage, and Control Freak products. The links for all those can be found down in the description below. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.